We're starting the recording. And fantastic. Hi, everybody. This is Christian Gray Moore. I am with Yale Studios and the Superhero Training Center here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm joined with our program director, Yvonne Landry, and the fabulous Marcio Ballas from Brazil, Sao Paulo. Is that correct pronunciation of the city? Fantastic. I'm getting the thumbs up, so I'm assuming that's good. Marcio is joining us to talk about his phenomenal clowning background and how you can apply that to acting and to improv, as well as his improv background. And he is going to be teaching an amazing 2-day workshop with us. I'm going to go ahead and let's share that so you guys can see it real quick. Ba-boom. This is the phenomenal class that we have coming up. It is $225. It is a 2-day master class starting July 25th. Signups are still available for that class, so make sure you get yourself in that class. It's going to be amazing. And that should be, hopefully, the last time that I talk. So, guys, I'm going to hand it off to Yvonne and to Marcio. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Yvonne Landry. I am the artistic director and producer at the Superhero Training Center, Yale Studios. So I'm here today with Marcio Ballas. Can we see him? There he is. Awesome. So Marcio is a personal friend of mine. If for some reason I get cut out, Christian will take over. I use satellite internet because I live in the country. And if for some reason we lose me, Christian will just take over. So awesome. Thanks. Welcome, everyone. So Marcio is my friend. We met 2 years ago at Espantaneo Improv Festival in Portugal. And I'm so excited to have you, Marcio. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for your invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm from São Paulo, Brazil now. So it's a crazy world that you can talk in different places. Even though I would prefer to be there in Atlanta live, but we are here.
We are. It's a crazy time. So Marcio is a television host, an actor, a celebrity, a father, a clown, and his first language is Portuguese. So he's coming from Brazil. So I'm just going to do my best I don't really speak Portuguese, but I'm trying. So we're going to find all about Marcio, who has a really incredible and fascinating career. So I can't wait. So Marcio, I have some questions for you, and then we'll open it up to the chat if that's okay. Is this okay with you? Fantastic. So Marcio is going to be talking to us about how clowning helps you as an actor, and he's got this incredible career. So Marcio, you studied at l'École Internationale de Jacques Lecoq, which is an incredibly prestigious school in Paris. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, sure. In fact, when I was 17, I was here in Brazil and my father died suddenly. So I didn't have options because he has a little stationery here in Brazil. So I had to keep this stationery, and I worked there from 17 to 27. So 10 years. During these 10 years, I was like a normal person, let's say. And when I was 27, I decided I wanted to be a clown. At that moment, my mother was crazy. Oh my God, how can you leave artist, clown here in Brazil? You're crazy. And I said, no, I want to do that. So I went first to New York, and after I went to Paris to study in Lecoq School. And for me, it was a great experience because it's a great school. It's a school that you learn a lot of things and a lot of tools to use in your acting. And one of them, it was like the clown. And I also, when I went there, I really loved this technique and this language. But after, when I studied there and I stayed in Paris during these 3 years studying, I fell in love with the language of the clown, and I was sure, yes, I want to be a professional clown. And was the start of my career, let's say.
Okay, so then you did this, and then you went on to do, it is called you told me how to say it, and I need it again. Le Samovar. Le Samovar, which is both a school and a theater dedicated to clowns, burlesque, and eccentricities.
Yeah.
This is right. So, I mean, it seems to me like you've done everything you can possibly do as far as clowning training, correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
And then you went to Belgium.
yes, perfect. So I was
Okay.
in 3 years in Europe, like studying. And I want to ask you, people that are watching, where are you from exactly? So Bill, Defascal, Igor, Ken, Mark, Brit, where are you from and what do you do? Are you actors? Are you improvisers? Are you students? Just to let, to know a little bit who is there. I did after Lecoq School, I decided to stay more there, and I did this Les Samovar school. That it's a different school because it's just clown. You just learn. I just learned clown there, and it was like going deeper to a technique. And when I was there in France, I discovered this other school called Le Clown Relationnel. It's an institute that the guy, he teach you how to be a clown that works in hospitals or in with old people. So it's a different way of clowning because when you work in hospital, it's different that, for example, when you are work in theater presenting your show or in the street. So there are different ways of clowning, you know?
Yeah, and so then you went back to Brazil, and then at some point in the middle of this, you were in New York City, yes, and you did UCB. Is that correct?
Yes, I mean, no, I didn't do ESPN. I was in the beginning. I did with Chris Bass, and I met Avner Eisenberg, also a clown that I really like, and he was very important for me in my career. And after these 4 months in New York, I went these 3 years in France. I stayed in Europe, in France, and most of the time in France and Belgium also. And after these 3 years, I decided, oh, it's time to go to Brazil. So I came back to Brazil, and here I started to work as a clown in a project that is part of the clown care unit. That is these clowns that work at hospital. So this project started in United States with the clown care unit, is a part of the Big Apple Circus in New York. So a Brazilian guy came to Brazil and he founded this institution here, and I started to work as a clown. So I was really happy because it was my first work. Really, I get paid and I have a job as a clown. So for my first thing that I really did as a clown, like as a professional clown, no? So I stayed there 4 years and doing this clowning hospital twice a week. I went to a hospital, and the third day we train as clowns. So I stayed with this 4 years here in Brazil. Yeah.
And so can you talk to us about the difference between working as a clown in a hospital setting versus working as a clown in a theatrical setting, like at a circus or something?
Yes, sure. I read actually Igor, volunteer hospital clown in Brazil, Charla, actor improviser from Ohio. Wow, nice. An actor here, Kristen Martin, Atlanta improviser. Nice, nice, nice. So, what the difference? I mean, it's the same thing, the same language, the same technique, but there are different ways of working. Because when you're a clown in the theater, when I present my show in the theater, I have all the show prepared. I know my gags. I know what I will do, and I will put it. And of course, I will play it a lot. I will have a big relation with the audience, but I have all the way. You know, I have the how to say that the way, the path. I have the path. So I'll do this first, and after this, and after that, and after that, and after that, and after that. And between that, I will improvise, and I will have this relation with the audience.
Yes.
So it's in the shows. But when the clown go to the hospital, it's a different way of clowning, because in the hospital, we are interested, first of all, in the relation. We have to keep and have to guard the relation on. So this connection is the first thing and is the main thing. So, for example, if we are doing something with a child in a room in the hospital and something else happened and it cuts all our story, no problems if the relation is going on. So it's different ways of clowning, no? So when you are in a stage, you have this distance, no? Because I mean, I have 100 people, 200, 500. So I have this tonus going on and this relation really open and big. So when you go to the hospital, the relation is in the smaller place. So more eyes in the eyes all the time. You try to keep looking and looking and looking and looking and watching all the time. You have your partner and the child sometimes and the mother. So we are 3 or 4 people. So it's a different way of getting through this relation. It's not better, or of course, no. Each one has its beauty, you know. But it's a different way of relationship. So if it's a different way of acting. So each of them has its little things, even if they are both a clown language and a clown technique.
Fantastic. So the relationship is different, which brings me to, can you talk about the difference between clowning and improvisation? Because I know you're a trained improviser as well. And so can you kind of talk about that? That is very much my wheelhouse, is improvisation. And I have never, ever done clowning. So I really need a frame of reference.
Cool. Because there are some improvisers here and also a film actor here. So I think clown and improv they have many things in common and many things different. No, what do they have in common? Both are playing in the present moment. Clown and improv should be in the present moment all the time. Second, they have to be on the yes way of thinking. No, as we say in improv, yes, and the clown is the same. He's all the time saying yes to his partner, yes to the play, yes. Both are playing in the way we are in the state of play. We wanna play. We wanna create together. So this is what they have in common. But what they have in different. Improvisers, when I'm in my show, I have an improv show here. I mean, I used to have before the pandemic, or my TV show here in Brazil. When we do improv, we are very worried about the story, to build the story, to write the story. We are writers also. And at the same time that we are acting, we are directing ourselves, we are also writing our stories, no? So the clown is different because when the clown is playing, he's not really worried about a story. He's worried all the time about the relation with the other.
Okay.
So he can go from one story to another very fast. He can create 10 stories in the same moment. He can forget a story that he was creating because something else happened. And the improviser, no, the improviser try to build something, no? So he wanna go from here to here, and something happened here, and this build our story, no? So it's different ways of improv. They both are improvisers, I think, no? Because sometimes here in Brazil, we didn't use this term improviser for the clown because improviser are improvisers. But after many years doing both, I realized that yes, the clown is also an improviser, but he plays a little bit different. But both can play together, for example. But for example, here in Brazil, I'll give you an example. Here in Brazil, we used to have this, the first improv show in Brazil, my group did it like 18 years ago. So we mixed the clown and improv. So sometimes during a scene, something happened that we really stop the scene and we start something else, you know. For example, I remember one day we were doing a scene and we asked the audience, can you tell me a place? And someone shout, the Antarctica, you know, Antarctica, the ice place.
Yes, Antarctica, yes.
Antarctica, yeah. So
Okay.
Antarctica. So we started our improv scene there. So we are two guys there, you know. Oh wow, what nice. Oh, it's cold. After someone entered as a penguin. Oh, look, a penguin. And we started the story like an improv show. At a certain point, one of the clowns looked at the audience and he saw a guy with bird and a white bird, like the Santa Claus. Santa
Okay.
Claus.
Yeah. See.
So he shouted, "Oh, look, we have Santa Claus there in Antarctica." So the actors, they leave the canoe and they go there to talk with the Santa Claus. So the first one say and hug him, and the second hug me, and the third improviser hug me, and they started to talk with the Santa Claus during the improv. And at this point, the other team, no, the other three actors that are not in this improv, they are just watching, because they started this scene with Santa Claus, they also go to the audience and started to, oh, Santa Claus, Santa Claus. So we have 6 clowns there. After the referee of because it was like a match, theater sport.
Yes.
Yeah. So the referee go there and to talk with Santa Claus. So after the band, the musician, they are clown musician. Also, they leave their guitar and the thing to and the bass, and they go to talk. So at a certain point, we have 13 clowns around a guy laughing because we suppose that he was a Santa Claus. And, oh, Santa Claus, give me a gift. Oh, I want this, I want that. So we stayed there like, I don't know, like 10 minutes. And the referee, okay, end of the scene. So this was the scene. It's just in a clown show that you can see that, you know.
Yes, I see.
So we are more worried about the relation, what is happening there, than an improv. If you are watching this with an improv thinking, you say, okay, but you lose the story. You cut the story. You don't advance the story. So these are different ways of improvisers.
Yes, I love it. And so you basically started the whole improv scene in Brazil, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so how did that start? You started with a group and then you opened your school, which is Casa do Humor, which teaches clowning and improvisation, yes?
Yeah.
Can you talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So when I arrived in Brazil and I started this clown, to be a clown at hospital, I have a partner here. He was a clown with me in the hospital. So we started to talk about doing something together. And he has in his house, in the backyard of his house, it's a small house, but with a backyard. And he has this place and he said, "You wanna try to do something in my backyard?" And I said, "Yeah, it sounds nice." And we started to have ideas. Oh, we could do some comedy, some clowning, some cabaret. And we were talking one day, and one day I told him, you know what? One day when I was in France, I saw an improv show. And he said, "What? What is improv show?" And I said, there are some actors, the audience give them titles, and they improvise a scene. And he was like, "Wow, but how come?" You know, at that time, we didn't have improv in Brazil, so he didn't know. And even me, when I watched the first time, I really love it, but I said, "Wow, this is really impossible. I can't do that." So I was telling him just to have, I mean, to explain him one interesting thing that I watched there. So he said, "Wow, do you think we can do that here?" And I said, "I don't know. We can try, but I don't know how to do that." So we started to think about it, how to make it, and we had this idea. We knew we were clowns at the time. So we said, if we take the clown and we put this game that you saw there, two teams playing one against the other. We do like you told me there, but as the clowns. And he said, oh, maybe it should be nice. And we started to think, and I said, oh, Brazil, it's a soccer place. No, we have this passion about soccer. So we could do like a soccer game. Yeah, with two teams, like 3 clowns in each team and a referee. So when we had this idea, we started to invite some clowns and actors, but most of them, they're really clowns. That were working in hospital, or they worked in the street. They did clown in the street, so they have this ability of improv also.
Right.
So we create this group, and after 6 months having idea, creating games, we didn't know these games, the ABC games, the yes and, we didn't know this concept, we didn't know any game. So we started to think about games, you know. So after 6 months in this backyard, to 40 people, it was full the first day, 40 people, like very, very together to watch and we have this tree, a little tree in the scene. So it was like, we're in the house, no? So, and we with many lights, spotlights, we did little lights also. We put like a uniform, like soccer players, you know, with things and numbers. We did it really nice. So the people were like in the house watching a theater, clown, crazy stuff. And people were crazy. In the first day, I remember they were, oh my God, oh my God. And we are amazed because we didn't know that it was so nice. And people were amazed. So we said, oh, we have to do this every month. So this started to growing and growing and growing. Mm-hmm. After 3 months, we changed our place because it was small already. So we went to 100 people a place,
wow.
House also. We rent a house here. And after 1 year, we did our first in another big place to 400 people. And
wow.
After 2 years, we rent a big place and we put like we I don't know in the name in English.
Risers. The seating risers is what we would call this.
Perfect. And we did for 700 people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it was crazy. It was a phenomenon. It was full twice a month, Saturday and Sunday, and it was full, and it was really a phenomenon here in Brazil. So after we started to be famous here in São Paulo, people started to know us, and we are, wow, that's nice. And after a TV show, a TV called us to do an improv show. So I hosted an improv show here in Brazil. So it was like a crazy thing that happened here. We didn't expect it, we didn't plan it, but it happened like this.
That is wild. And so the TV show is E Tudo Improviso. Is this correct?
Perfect.
And that means everything is improv. And so then you went on to do the show for how long? How many years?
So we have like 4 seasons here. Mm-hmm. And it was very good. After that, we started to be known all over the country because before it was just in São Paulo, just in my city. That it's a huge city, but it's a small part of Brazil, you know. So after we were like known all over the country. It was very good to present our shows after, to go to cities to make to teach also. After I found a school here in Brazil, this is Casa do Humor, when I teach clown and improv mainly. So after that, we stayed 4 seasons in the TV, and it was also a different experience because I never did TV before. This was like 10, 11 years ago. It was my first experience on TV, right? Like hosting a show, and it was we rate very good. So we have I don't know, 10 million people watching, 12 million people watching, and we were really happy because we could
Oh,
improv in television with people that I love. So it was a great experience also.
yeah, that's a dream come true. And so, did a Tudo Improviso air also in Portugal? Because when we were in Portugal together, they recognized you on.
Oops.
Oh no, it looks like we lost Yvonne. But please continue with that question. When you were in Portugal, was that show airing as well?
Cool. So it's interesting because I'm answering to the person that it's not in the room. It's so funny. When I went to Portugal with Yvonne, some people recognize me in the street, but they recognize me because also a group from Brazil here called Ballas, they did. They put some scenes of the shows that they did in theater in internet, in YouTube. So it started to be also a phenomenon, and many people watching. So now I have like more than 20 million of views in my videos. So it was like a YouTube phenomenon, whatever how to say this word. So it was also a way that improv and my group was known here, television and also internet. So YouTube and also internet. So this was this happens here. Internet and television were very important for me, both. Yvonne, are you there?
Can you see? Can you hear me?
I think you're back.
Can
Yeah, a little bit. You're
you-
crackly a little bit, but
Okay. Okay. So that's awesome. That's an incredible amount of views, and I mean, you're really a very big deal in Portuguese speaking world. And so, can you talk a little bit about? So I saw your one man show called Bega Gem. I didn't understand a single word you said because I'm American and we don't speak Portuguese typically. I'm learning now, and I would probably understand a tenth of your show. However, not knowing Portuguese, I was still blown away by your show, which is about your family.
oh no, did we lose her again?
I'll show you about your banana. Well, I'll share about my show, what I think she was asking. What I suppose was the question. So here in Brazil, I mean, my first, in fact, it was in Portugal, in this festival that I met Yvonne. And it was my first solo and my first improv solo. So I was like 2 years rehearsing and trying and thinking about it. And after 2 years, I had this show called Bagagem. In this show, I tell the audience the story of my family, because my mother comes from Egypt and from Cairo in Egypt, and my father he was born in Alexandria in Egypt also. So both run away from Egypt in 1956. They were refugees. They came here by in a ship, like running away very fast. They couldn't bring nothing, no money, no Jews, nothing. And they arrived here in Brazil. In Brazil, they didn't speak Portuguese. They didn't know people here. So it was a very crazy story. And after they could be here, and after some years they could integrate the society, and it was okay. But in this show, I wanted to share this story with the audience. So in the first part of the story, I tell the audience this story, And at a certain point, I asked the audience to imagine what could happen if my grandparent didn't go out at this moment from Egypt, you know. So I asked the audience some things, and with these things based on a true story, I have also these improvising moments. So it's a mix of theater and improv. Let's say at a certain point, I tell a story, a real story. And after I ask the audience something. So I make an improv part. After I ask the audience another things, I do another part of improv. At a certain point, I ask someone to be my mother on the story. So I invite her to come to the scene and we play together, someone that I don't know, of course, a lady from the audience. So we make a scene together. So before I tell many things about my mother and about my life. So she knows a little bit about me. So she comes to the scene and we play together. And after it's the end of the show. So it's a mixed show. It's mixed it's a part of the show. It's improv and part of the show. It's theater. So this is a little bit about this.
Wonderful. Yeah. Yvonne is able to listen in, and she's actually texting me her responses to your things. So she was saying that she cried in the part where you started to speak about your mother. And a piece about her only being, or your parents only being able to bring $20 to Braza.
Yeah, this was the story. When they have to leave their house, they couldn't sell the house, they couldn't sell things, they could just bring clothes, little things, little stuff, and $20. So it's crazy. I mean, crazy world that we live. So this happened, and I share this story with the audience. This was one of the main part of the story that she remembered.
She also said something about sewing jewelry into clothing, that there was a piece of...
In fact, my mother told me that some women to run, to go out from the country, they couldn't bring jewelry. So what they did, some of them did, they take some rings or earrings or necklace, little gold or silver, and they eat it. So after to try to take it after, you know. So this was part of her story. And when she told me that the story, like when I was a child, the story stayed in my mind all my life. And after many years, I said, oh, I want to share this story. I want to tell the story to the audience and mix it with improv. So it was an improv and theater show together.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds phenomenal. And I feel like a lot of times, the richer our pasts are and the richer the story is, that is when we get so much better theater to begin with. Yvonne is also telling me that the most, one of the striking parts about your show was the rich character work. And could you talk about how clowning kind of brought you to character work and character building, and how that kind of applies?
Cool. One thing is very interesting to share with you is that the clown helps a lot in our acting. It helps a lot every actor. I say, and here in Brazil, we started to do that in the theater schools here, the important one. They started to have a clown course, a serious clown course, because it's very, even if the actor, he doesn't want to be a clown and to do clown, doesn't matter. But I think it's a very, very important tool. Like improv, for example, for an actor, it's very important to know improv. Even if after he wants to make his acting, like his straight acting, no problems. But improv is a very good tool. And clown is also a very good tool. Because in clown, we learn a lot to be to work, to play in a sincere way, you know a lot to listen to the audience and really listen. This listening that we try to be refined, to do it really well, you know. The clown is the master of the listening, because listening of the audience, because he's all the time relating with people. So he's all the time looking at the people. Oh, how are them? Oh, I think he's the, oh, someone, oh, I have to, he plays all the time with the audience. So we had this training of have built this relationship. So when I did this show, I wanted to mix the way of acting. So I don't use the red nose. Actually, is here my red nose. In this
Always
show,
on hand.
yeah, indeed, always on hand. You're right. One day I was here in Brazil, just a parenthesis, and I was in the street, and they were like, "Oh, stop, police!" And we said, "Police control." Okay, well, nothing. Oh, can I see your stuff? And he find this, and he said, "What is this?" I said, "It's a red nose." "Why do you have a red nose here?" "Because I'm a clown." And the cop looked at me. "Are you talking seriously?" I said, "Yes, yes, my job. I'm a clown." So I said, okay. But in the beginning, you know, he thought, "Are you kidding? Are you like?" So anyway, so the clown, it's a very nice tool to actors acting, do their acting. So in this show, I had a director, a very nice director here in Brazil, and we also worked this kind of acting. Part of the time, I'm on the stage, no playing with the audience, just text and acting. After we break the fourth wall and we talk with the audience. And after we break the fourth wall, and we come and we invite some people at a certain point. I invite another person to the audience, to play with me. After my mother, I invite a guy that will be my best friend in my life. So he plays with me. So it's a mix of things, because I mean, I'm doing this stuff like 20 years in my career. So in this solo, I wanted to play with different styles and different types of acting in the same show.
Yeah, I love that. Absolutely love that. We talk a lot in our school here in Atlanta about building your toolkit, building your tool belt, really, of finding different acting styles and finding different acting techniques. And one of the things that we've seen here, we don't have a lot of clowning. There is a clown school in Atlanta, but it's a little lesser known in the acting world. And in the United States in general, there isn't a lot of clowning that is well known for actors. What do you see and changing that? Like how do we let actors know the tools that are out there for them?
I think when the actors go in a clown course, after the course, they always realize. I never had a student that said, "Oh, I don't agree. This is not good for actors." It's always the opposite. They, "Oh my God." Sometimes they get crazy. "Oh, I want to study more." And even if they didn't like it like a lot, but they recognize straight that is a very good tool, you know, because it is. And and there's one interesting thing in Lecoq School in France. You start, the first thing that you learn is the silence, to build the actor, to show the actor, to see that we are body. If you do a little thing like this, you know, it's a very big thing. Even if I'm not talking, but if I do something, it's very big, no? So it starts with silence, and after we go to the elements, and after we go to the poetry, and after we go to the characters, and now after we go to the buffoon, and the last thing in the Lecoq pedagogy in his school is the clown. And he said that is the last thing, because it's just after that you pass all over the things that you can go through the clown, because the clown is not a character. The clown is what you are. So it's working on you, on your really real you. So working you, Chris. And it's very difficult when I teach for a long time, since like 20 years. And it's always very interesting to see actors or non-actors, actors sometimes more than non-actors. We have problems to be just there, and it's just to be there, doing nothing, just in your presence, just in this state, we say in Portuguese, it's a state. So many times when the actor starts to do clowning, he's there, but he's trying to do something. And I said, no, don't do nothing. Stay there. I don't want to see the character. I don't want to see you doing nothing. And the people, just breathe. No, just breathe. No, it's like, so just give me a kiss. No, a little quick kiss, just a small kiss. No, just kiss. We're getting better. Just look at me. Just breathe. Okay. Now we can see you. Now we can really see you. So it's very subtle, but it's very beautiful.
I love that. I absolutely love that. We talk about bringing yourself to roles all the time, and it's like finding the way to be yourself in the script and finding the way to be yourself in front of the camera, because we definitely focus more on film and television in our program. But I know, so we mentioned the Jacques Lecoq School. So there are some other famous graduates as well, including Isla Fisher and Sacha Baron Cohen. Have you seen their clowning applying to their film work? I don't know how much yeah, perfect.
Yes, absolutely. I think a lot, because in filming also, because we have this camera there, if the actor can get through this state, to this calm, to this state of mind, the audience can see that. So if this is in the theater or in the movie or in internet, you can see there. So I think it's a very subtle and important thing that the actors can do in their training. As you said, I use the same thing. You have to have this like Batman now, that he has tools there. And of course, clown is one of the tools. And one thing is very interesting. When Lecoq, he has his school, and he didn't teach clown in the beginning. And after, at a certain point, he wanted to know why people laugh. Why do they laugh? So he was like thinking about it, and he invented this exercise. So he put all his class in a circle, in a half circle, in fact, and he explained to the students, listen, you're gonna pass one by one, and the name of the exercise is make people laugh, make the audience laugh. Just that. Okay. So the first one then, and he started to do things to make like faces, and people don't laugh. The second, the third, and it started to be like a little bit, like. And sometimes when the person tries something and he falls on something, get wrong, people laugh. So he said, oh, people laugh when we fail, when we something get wrong, when we got this twist. So he started to work this clown in theater, and started to work with the fail. because the clown is the fail. It's not that he's going to fail by purpose, no, but he's going to, with all his mind and his heart and his body, he's so much there that sometimes something will get wrong, so he's gonna fail. And when the clown fail, we laugh because we think, oh, we are better than him, authority, comic authority. Oh, we laugh because, and we identify also because we, in our unconscious thing, we think, oh, I'm better than him. And also, oh, I do that sometimes, it happened to me. So it's the human being. This is the difference between, for example, in the circus, all the artists and the clown. There's a difference because in the circus, if you look, we have these artists trying to be God. They are challenging nature. Why? Because you take this guy, trapezist. I don't know how to
trapeze. Yeah.
Trapeze. So the guy go in the trapeze 10 meters. I mean, above the floor, very high in this trapeze, and he jump and he do like that, and the other take him and say, oh my God, wow. So we are looking at them like they are really in another level. It's men trying to be God, the juggler juggling with 7 balls, 2 hands. He's challenging the gravity. Ta, 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 ta. And we, oh my God, it's great. And in the other side, we have the clown. The clown tried to juggle, but the ball falls. He tried to go there and he falls. And we laugh because we identify. We look, we are like this. So he's more humans.
Yeah.
So we identified with him because he's a mirror. The clown is the mirror of the human being. So we see ourselves there. So we're gonna hug him. We're gonna have him in our house. We're gonna share something. We're gonna say, we are with you, please. Now you're gonna make it. So it's very interesting. I really love this.
Yeah, I love it. It's definitely the human element of seeing yourself in it. And I think the determination, I'm not going to quit until I succeed in that task. It's like after you watch the clown fail, I want you to get up that ladder. I want you to juggle those balls. I want you to do whatever the impossible task is that you're trying to achieve.
Yes, perfect.
One last thing before I let you go, Marcio. I know that you did Clowns Without Borders. That is the entire context I have for this. So please explain it to me.
Yes. When I was in France, I knew this association called Clowns Without Borders. They have actually in the United States, they have in Europe, now they have here, we are here in Brazil also. So I have 2 journeys with them. I went with them to Madagascar in Africa. So we did many shows in very poor places, in very, very far places, in prisons there. So we stayed 2 years there doing shows every day. But my first show, my first experience with them, it was on the refugees camp in Kosovo. I don't know if you remember, Chris. I don't know how old are you, but
younger than I look.
Okay.
The beard ages me up.
He's young.
Okay, so maybe we remember. So in 1999, I was in this. It was this Kosovo War. So they built an expedition, a journey with some artists going from France to Kosovo. And we went to the refugees camp, and it was crazy because, I mean, for me, it was very different, very new experience. So I remember I was really afraid because I was the youngest of the group. They speak a different language there. So I couldn't speak in English, French, Portuguese. It's a very different language. And because we were in the war. So I was really afraid and excited about it. So I remember the first day when we arrived there, and actually I was doing things, and I this is the, can you see? Oh no. So when we arrived there, it was, we saw these children playing there, and next to them we saw a tank, you know, like I
Wow.
never saw a tank in my life. So I was like, oh my God. And in the way we passed and many houses that were bombed, you know,
Mm.
and after we arrived there, and one thing that was very interesting, and I learned a lot, is this moment before the show. The clown has always this moment to 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 stay in his world before going to the scene. So when we arrived there in the camp, in a refugees camp, we arrived there and we say, okay, where we are going to do the show, because we didn't have a theater, of course, there. So we choose a place, we build our little scenario, and each clown has his time to prepare himself. So this is a very important moment, and the clown, when we learn the clown, we have to have this moment that we have to calm ourselves, to connect with ourselves, to do a little meditation and to stretch and to stay with you. Because as I was saying before, the clown is you, so we have to connect with you. So we have this moment that we are there, like 1 hour, each person has to prepare. After stretch, after makeup, after our costume, after our red nose, and boom, now we are ready. So after, when we were ready, we look to meet the other artists, and we do a circle with everybody, and we stayed there. And the coordinator of the group, the director of the show, he said, okay, now we're gonna stay in silence, just looking each other. So we stayed in silence, really looking eyes in the eyes. We breathed together, and he said, we have to create something together, so let's stay together. So we did our alley hop, this scream that we have there, and we went to do the shows. We have artists from Spain, England, France, of course, and me from Brazil, and we did the show. And the show has many people, you know, like for example, the show like 1,000 people. We had shows with 2,000 people sometimes 500. I mean, and for me it was really new, because I wasn't an experienced clown. I had like 100 people. It was like a very big audience for me. So this was a very, very interesting experience to play to like 1,000 people. And it was very nice to see that if you are in the moment, if you're in a creation, you can get a show and you can improvise and you can make people laugh even during a war. So this was very beautiful to me to see. And after the show, there was one thing very beautiful also, that we give each child a red nose. So after the show,
I love that.
yeah. So we give them a red nose, child and adults also, you know.
Wonderful, yeah.
So
Marcio, I want my red nose. I want my red nose.
I hope I'll be in Atlanta live, like
Yes,
me.
yes. Hopefully once everything is safe and our passports work again, we can bring you in. Bring me a red nose. Marcio, one last thing before I let you go back to your beautiful home and life. Tell me about the workshop. So tell me what you're going to be working on in that 2-day workshop.
Okay, so in this workshop, it's an workshop that I'm giving him here in Brazil online. I'll teach people some principle of how to clown, how to be a clown. Some tools that you can use if you act in a theater, if you act in a movie, if you'll be in a hospital clowning or acting, any acting, whatever you will present. So one thing that we work a lot here is this idea of first, as I was telling you, how to you contact yourself to after play with yourself, to understand that even if you're an actor or if you have a character, we are we. So we have to play with our things, with our emotion, with our body. So we have to remember that we have all this body to construct. So the principle of state, that sometimes you don't have to do many things. You can be just there and do little things. These things, how to work and to play with the audience. How can we play with our partners? But sometimes we play and we have this third and we break this wall. How can we do that in clowning? So it's some principle and some basis of clowning that I learned in these 20 years, and I developed my own way of teaching, and I hope you have fun and enjoy it.
Well, Marcio, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for sharing your time.
Marcio, thank you. I'm sorry I kept cutting out, but thank you so much, Marcio. It's so great to see you. Thank you for your time and your talent.
Thank you. I hope I'll be there and you here in Brazil live to hug
Me
each other.
too.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all for
Bye-bye,
joining
guys.
us. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.